Sorry, what?
I'm like, well, it makes no sense. What do you mean? You're going to make sure they're not suicidal so they can kill themselves, so you can kill them? Let's just put them out of the misery, just like we do a rabid dog. Put them out of the misery, move on. And if they upset the party members, I might not be able to stand again as an MP. You're irrelevant until it comes to a general election. I don't even think she's British. I don't class her as British. She's a Nigerian. Her mum came over here, gave birth, and then got on the next plane and went back to Nigeria for 16 years.
The degenerative diseases?
No assisted dying.
No?
Life's valuable or it's not valuable. The state should have no part in taking your life, unless you're a criminal. I'm for the death penalty, by the way. So,
really? So I'm the opposite. I think that if they can tell you that you can't kill someone, they shouldn't be allowed to tell you that you can't kill someone. It's hypocrisy.
Well, initial thoughts is that, but we kill people all the time in this country.
Oh yeah, when we go to war. Yeah.
We train soldiers to kill. We have armed police who kill people.
Yep.
We abort 250,000 babies a year. The NHS doesn't fund certain procedures, so people die. But the difference with capital punishment is that person is guilty of something. Society has said we don't want that person living with us anymore because of a danger. So that person then forfeited their rights to live amongst us. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Assisted suicide, even for terminal diseases and illnesses, we need to mitigate their pain.
Yeah.
And if a family relative wants to take it in their own hands, then I hope the court will treat them fairly when they get to court. But that's personal responsibility. Because after we get assisted suicide, what comes next then is selected suicide, where the state then goes, far too many disabled people, haven't we? They cost us a fortune. Maybe we assist their suicide.
Yeah. Maybe put them on a train.
Yeah. Do you know what? We've got far too many far-right Nazis complaining on Twitter. Maybe we pass a law where we can assist suicide them. Once you give governments that, they push and push and push. Yeah. The British assisted suicide bill at the moment is now looking at including depressed people, mentally ill people. So we're already, it's not even in law yet, and we're already looking at expanding it to mentally ill people who are not dying.
Yeah.
We're already expanding it. And Angela Rayner was on TV talking about it, saying, well, there are going to be safeguards for that. We're going to have a panel of judges who make sure that mentally ill people aren't suicidal.
Sorry, what?
I'm like, well, it makes no sense. What do you mean? You're going to make sure they're not suicidal so they can kill themselves, so you can kill them? The whole point is they're suicidal. Yeah. These people are idiots. Ridiculous. And this creep is already starting with the assisted suicide bill. I don't want to give the government that power. I want a smaller state doing less things for us. You know, if my mum needs to die to stop her pain and she wants to die, I'll take responsibility for that, not the state. State does nothing well. But
no, they don't do anything well.
They don't do anything good.
Problem.
Yeah, but death penalty, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
In certain cases.
I mean, you want it. Certain cases.
Certain cases. Yeah. And, we'd have to get past the, the mistakes were made in the past. But, we have technology now. So how about we only execute people?
Yeah, but how often are they wrong? That's also a problem.
In the past, but we don't have technology. How about this?
We just sent how many people to jail for fucking hurty words on Facebook over the last year.
Yeah, and we'll still carry on doing that, but that's not death penalty. So death penalty, how about a death penalty would be...
I wouldn't want a government that can send me to jail for hurty words to also have the ability to send out death penalties.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but here are the safeguards I'd want. I'd want the crime caught on video.
Yeah.
So we all have cameras.
Yeah.
CCTV. So has to be caught.
The most viewed country in the world.
Yeah. So it has to be caught on camera. There has to be so many witnesses, and there has to be DNA evidence.
And an admission of guilt.
No admission because they would say no. So what they are? A great example would be those two jihadist idiots in London who chopped off, who killed Lee Rigby and chopped his head off. Caught on camera, 150 witnesses covered in blood.
Yeah.
Why are we locking them up forever?
I don't think anyone would have had a problem if a police officer turned up and shot them both out.
But he would have been done for murder because...
Yeah, of course he would. Look at that guy in London the other week. The police officer that was in court for shooting a guy for driving at him with a car.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Yeah. But death penalty for those guys, I don't see a problem with that because it would have to hit that criteria. And there is no room there for... And I'd also have a new law that anybody who interferes in a capital punishment case, like a police officer, planting evidence, anything like that, would be a charge of attempted murder, and that would be a death penalty case.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That would stop police officers planting evidence. He'd be like, no, you get caught doing this, you die.
Yeah.
And that's how we would stop that. But for those sort of cases, first of all, it's torture. We're locking those two mental people up forever now. It's going to cost us tens of millions. Let's just put them out of the misery. Just like we do a rabid dog. Put them out of the misery, move on. Yeah.
Yeah. You might have turned me.
I keep saying this. I'm a big fan of... I don't even know if it's even possible. But small decisions by the whole country. So if you could meet every bit of that criteria, so say the Southport guy, and he's admitted, and go, okay, right, do you want to lock him up forever, or do you want him gone? And you put it out.
Yeah.
And if 51% of England go, get him gone, gone. I'd enjoy something like that. I always say, don't I? I like small vote. I don't even know if it's a thing. I know Poland have just been discussing it. They do small referendums on things, so they're just doing.
And so does Switzerland.
Do they?
Yeah, they have a referendum.
Put a lot of things to referendum.
Yeah, he was just doing an interview with Nigel Farage, and it was they're doing the general election. But alongside that, when you go to the, this is how I understood it. When you go to the polls, you will also do a referendum, a small vote on. Do you want to continue with no migration?
Yeah.
Immigration. So it's just on that one specific subject. So the country can not only decide who's governing them, but that exact rule.
Yeah.
We spoke about it before. I quite like the idea of doing small decisions in government.
I think there's a place for that because that brings people into the decision-making process better.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a topic where the main parties are not divided on it. You know, if the Tories were let's keep out of Europe and Labour were let's rejoin Europe, well, you don't need a referendum on that because there's a distinction between the parties. If you want to join Europe, you'd vote Labour and vice versa. But when you've got something that there is no party that's standing that because all the parties all split themselves on it, then the referendum is a good indication for those parties that they might need to change their own policies because suddenly the referendum says 70% of people want this.
Yeah.
Well, those politicians might go, well, we need to start wanting that as well because that's 70% of the population. We need a bit more direct democracy.
Why don't parties do like more of their own referendums to find as feelers to the public? Like why I've never been asked by a political party what I would like.
That's because every time they ask the people what they want, they never get the answer they want.
But that's not what they're there for.
Yeah.
But that's what they think they're there for. The politicians are there to rule you and govern you. Because you're too stupid to know what you want. If we leave it all up to you...
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's what they think.
No, I'm sure that's what
and
they think.
And we all think the opposite way. You're too fucking stupid to do what we want to do.
Politicians never want to hear off the public in a genuine sense because politicians all know what they're going to do. The reason why they know what they're going to do is they're always trying to keep their party in line. They're always trying to keep their voters, their voter base and the party members happy. They know what they want, the party members. And if they upset the party members, I might not be able to stand again as an MP. You're irrelevant until it comes to a general election.
And then you're all over it.
And then I'll lie my socks off to you. So you'll vote for me. But I always have to make sure the members are happy and stuff like that. So that's how parties work.
But they come across as everything that they say is a fucking nonsense. I know you just said you don't listen to trigonometry, but they've recently done like a 2-hour sit down with Kemi Badenoch.
That's on my list to watch this weekend.
And I couldn't make fucking arse a tail of it. She doesn't say anything.
No.
She said 2 hours worth of shit
right.
And didn't say
I've not listened to that yet.
Yeah, because she is trying to keep her party together and trying to keep her job.
Everything was a platitude.
Yeah.
And, it was the most painful thing I've listened to.
I saw a 30-second clip. It was like, oh, Jesus. I know.
Yeah. And she's presenting herself as the best hope to get rid of Starmer.
Yeah.
It was bad.
She won't be opposition leader at the next general election.
I do not think.
She's an interim leader.
Right.
Whoever took over next was only going to be a caretaker
Yeah.
leader, because the Tories are in a mess. The Tories still don't know who they are, what they want, and where they're going. So she's just a part-time leader until they work out who they are, and then a new leader will come forward, someone who hasn't got 14 years of Tory stench on them, of the incompetence of the last government. She stinks of Tory incompetence.
Yeah.
So I would never vote for
I
her.
would never have put it so eloquently,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. So
pretty much how I felt.
whoever comes next will be a new face Tory who wasn't in the government and stuff like that. Because at the moment, how can she ask us to vote for her when her and her party had 14 years and ruined everything?
Yeah.
No credibility. And still hasn't really admitted the mistakes. Still hasn't apologised. Still
Wouldn't
hasn't-
admit the
No,
mistakes.
exactly. And
They pressed her quite hard and
Yeah.
would not admit anything.
yeah, and she's pro mass migration. She's stood up in Parliament many times wanting more migration. I don't even think she's British. I don't class her as British. She's a Nigerian. Her mum came over here, gave birth, and then got on the next plane and went back to Nigeria for 16 years.
Right.
Kemi didn't come back, apart from being born here. Kemi was raised in Nigeria, came back here when she was 16, 17.
Yeah.
I don't class her as English or British.
Yeah.
She's a migrant. She called herself a migrant in Parliament. This isn't me being racist. She called herself a migrant when she was running for MP in London. On her posters, she had that she was a Nigerian migrant and Nigerians need to vote for me and that I'm your person. So she's played on the fact she's a migrant.
As a conservative.
Yeah, and I don't want a migrant running my country.
No.
I ain't got a problem with Priti Patel running it, or Suella Braverman, or Rishi Sunak.
No.
I've not got a problem with them.
Second or third generation
Yeah.
migrant children.
Turns out they're all shit. So
Yeah.
I ain't got a problem running the country. But I don't want a first generation migrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've not even, because of what's been going on, I've not even paid attention to
There's
that party.
just so much going on at the minute.
I'm so uninterested in that party or Labour. I've hardly paid attention to her at all.
Yeah. Well,
And I also want to focus on America as well because it's so much fucking fun.
yeah. Well, the Tories now, for the next couple of years, are insignificant.
Yeah.
It's not worth you spending any time
No.
on them because there's more important things to be looking at.
But it was
Insignificant.
an interesting interview to listen to.
Yeah,
how
I'm going to watch
fucking
it.
useless
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite embarrassing. I'd fucking step down if I'd have given that interview. Honestly,
She'll think she did well.
I'm sure she will.
The Tories at the moment, and she hasn't got a clue.
No.
She has
the
got
whole
a,
of fucking Westminster is full of fucking narcissists.
yeah. She's just trying to keep her position. She knows what she would say, which the public would love to hear, but she would lose her MPs doing it,
Yeah.
and they may oust her.
Yeah.
Because most of the Tory MPs in Parliament at the moment are basically Lib Dems.
Yeah.
There's not many true right-wing Tories left.
No.
They're nearly all Lib Dems. So she has to make sure they're happy with her. Otherwise, they'll vote her out and she'll be out. She won't be.
Yeah.
And she still thinks she's got a shot at being Prime Minister. And to be fair, everyone's got a shot at being Prime Minister if you're in the House of the Parliament. So, you've got to be leader to have a chance. She's leader, so she's got a chance. So
Yeah.
she wants to remain leader to have a chance.